Okay, so we're going to start with 1D first of all. I'll just do it on the big screen and I'll get my thing up on there. One dimension. We skip past this all the time because we're three-dimensional beings. 1D, first level. It's the eye in the sky. It's the star in the sky. It's God. It's source. It's completeness. It's wholeness. It's the creator. It's the awareness. The moment you become aware, that's when light happens. Let there be light. Boom. So that's the best way to look at this now. So we got the pyramid here, and the sun is above. God is everything. Every single thing, evil, darkness, black, white, up, down, creation, words, interpretation, every energy at every level, every technology that you've ever seen and be introduced to, God's more powerful than all of that. There's this energy that just flows amongst all of us. It's pure energy at its purest form. God could not be put into words. It goes so beyond words. It goes so beyond our comprehension, our capabilities. It's everything. But that can be quite boring if you are just everything all the time. What is there to do? So then now there's a moment where God now tries to then learn who he is. So in order, and this is the whole root of the soul on a human experience. This has already happened on the land. We see this with animals too. There's different levels. So I would even go beyond. I've got some more levels up to go through before we get to the humans on a collective. So I also know that I can do this from the I, human, the we or us or outside, and then the land, etc. as well. We can do this on all different levels. Right, so 1D is the soul. So the sun in the sky, the energy. In Spanish, a lot of the words in our language, which is all creation by God, by the way, it doesn't matter what language, there's a clue left for us. So God now wants to have this human experience. God has a son. The Son of God. God makes the Son in the image of his name. So the Son of God, copy, paste, has a son just like him. Is exactly the same in image, just perfection, pure divine creation. But if God just made exactly the same, then how would he know any different? It's the same. So in order for God to know who he was, he had to make who he wasn't. So the two dimensions is the duality. And this is the soul now starting his journey into this human experience. So before coming into the body, the soul has already chosen the parents. There's this spark of creation taking place. We label it sex, but there's something going on. There's an engagement. It's already pre-planned. It's already predetermined. They're in the room. They're having a moment, and there's this light. The soul comes, I want that family. That's I'm going to get some lessons here. Picks one here. So this is already taken place. But for God to know himself, we also need to have an opposite. So 2D is the mind. And we call it the collective mind. The accepted mind. Let's go on this one. Copy. And the symbol is perfect. So you'll get a lot of people in religion will say, oh, this is witchcraft. So close to God, they're already saying there's something witchcraft. So there's a choice. And if you look at the yin and yang, it's a dark and light. There's the good and bad. Let's get rid of that one. Always in life, there's a choice. So if we bring it down just from our comprehension, remember we're 3D. We're trying to view, we got to go backwards first because we come in at 3D. We've already gone through these two parts. We forgot. We left the world in 3D. We come back in 3D. When we pass over next time, if we're in 4D, 5D, that's where we come back to. So the reason why people get stuck in 3D is on our arrival, there's fear that we're born into, there's confusion. There's all sorts of things that take place which doesn't make sense. There's horrible environments. There's things called cesarean, and there's loads of education that's all contradicting. There's contraception. There's all sorts of things, right? It's a scary thing. We don't really know. With all the years that we've had going on, we've seemed to overcomplicate this. But you look over there in the indigenous and they're popping them out. Whole families with them straight away. Overcomplicate. And then when we leave this world, when we're meant to be being, we're fed with medication, we're disconnected from our family, we're stuck in a home, we literally got no use of our body anymore, we're an invalid. We're a beetroot. And then you get the whole life. I don't want to be like that. If I'm like that, put me down. I know people say that. So we leave this world confused, drugged up, unpresent completely. And then as we go out of the world, we don't know where we're going. We come back again to learn our lessons again. So we have to go back before we go forward. And this is the whole objective of this. So we're going to always use these levels. So 2D is now what you're looking at on this screen. 2D is the way that we explain for 3D. Remember, to be able to put things into words, I have to use the mind, because the soul is energy. For the human experience to comprehend it, I need to go back to the mind first of all. So you go down and you come up. You go down and you come up. And it'll make sense when we start looking at a mountain and stuff as well. So then we got 3D. So this is the human experience. And look how simple this is now, going from up down. We always say from the ground up. And again, when you're doing massage, I always push up towards the heart. Always get the blood flow going upwards. Like, it don't make sense. It's like babies having pregnancy. Your legs are up in the air, but the baby's coming down. You would assist. Again, all done by design. They do the opposite of what's true. So think mirror. The human experience is one way, but we've already started from the soul. So we can also know that if we're from the soul, it has to be upside down, because the soul starts here. So to get a pointer, go with your head first. Your eye knows the way. Again, these are great ways now that we can start controlling this. That makes a lot more sense. We shake it up. So we lead the way. And then when we view this from a human's perspective, we're looking at it from the reverse, so we can make sense. So then we got body. I'm going to use the mind as well. And then we got the soul. So quite simple now. How do you get up with a 3-part being, and mind, body, soul? Well, you start from the soul. That's one. Then you got the mind choice. So soul, mind, body. Body, mind, soul. We always say mind, body, soul, though. That's kind of like so it's like start from the mind, start from the mind. Mind's the middleman. Look. It's the middleman. So if we look at the pyramid now, 3 dimensions, that's the human experience. And we say we're stuck in 3D. We still don't even understand 3D. If you start from the very top of this pyramid, the sun is the truth all the way. So at every level, in alignment, it has to come from the sun first, and then the mind. Align the mind with the truth. And then for you to have this human experience, it's like the fruit machine where it comes down. It all has to be in a line. Because otherwise you can say, right, my mind's taken over on this one. It thinks it knows right. And then my body just follows underneath. And then illness and stuff comes. But again, it's like that. So you always have a choice. So the way that I work now in my meditations, when I say mind, body, soul, I'm thinking of these images. And I view it like this. Look. That's a package. That comes as a 2. Comes as a 2. Look. Comes as a 2. It's a partnership. The body and mind is a replication of the soul, yes and no. fear and love. So underneath that, the body has the same ways, but you've also got the body that can connect with the higher self too. And you've got the sayings, mind out the way. It's a no-brainer. This body here is a creation from God because it's come from all the way from the soul. The mind helped create it, and to put it into this, it still comes from God. Most people don't have God in their lives, and all they've got is this. And if the mind now thinks it's in control, ego, it's got no one else to respond to, and the body would do whatever it says. Every body, do what I say. So sometimes our mind can get in the way. We can overcomplicate things at the mind. It's a chaotic mind. So again, simple way of doing it now. So put these here again. So treat it like this. Look, your body is your temple. And the more we make this journey down to the soul, look, so this is the first bit as well. And this is what I love. Let me see if I can get a skeleton bone up here. Skeleton. All personal trainers out there, I'm telling you, if you start looking at life like this, your whole practice will completely change. Like the way that I do things now is so different, and the way that I'd understand the body now. We've overcomplicated how we learn about the body because they show us in 2D.